When you look at the elite billionaires running the global financial system, you see technocrats in business suits. And yes, the banking system is run on maths and digits, but at the highest levels, it's also run on magic and alchemy. Western science denies it exists, but for centuries, the financial elite have been secretly building on an unseen energetic grid. They fully understand these geometric alignments, and they have used them to shape cities and to steer the course of human civilization. In London, the use of sacred geometry is an open secret amongst the initiated elite. These secret societies use specific occult architectural principles within their buildings to channel Earth's natural energies. This is most evident in the city's two most striking landmarks, St. Paul's Cathedral and Westminster Cathedral. In these structures, geometry is not mere decoration, it's woven into the very foundations. The 18th century Baroque churches act as heavy terrestrial anchors, using dense Portland stone, deep crypts, and rigid geometry to compress into the earth and amplify low-frequency telluric currents. In stark contrast, modern skyscrapers function as high-altitude vessels that reject heavy masonry in favour of lightweight steel skeletons and crystalline glass curtain walls, stretching hundreds of metres into the air to capture and hold celestial light and solar energy. London is a critical component of this sacred geometry on planet Earth. It is by no accident that the City of London remains the world's financial centre. The three major hubs in Europe are London, Paris and Frankfurt. These all sit within or on the edge of what is called the Blue Banana. This is a heavily populated and economically dominant corridor of Western Europe. Parallel to this, you have the Golden Banana, which is also known as the Sun Belt, which curves through Spain, southern France and Italy, encompassing cities like Barcelona, Genoa and Toulouse, reaching its peak of wealth in Monaco. While the locations in the Blue Banana are for high finance, heavy industry and global logistics, the Golden Banana is defined by IT, electronics and aerospace. Its core remains anchored to these energetic roots. Although the terms blue and golden banana were coined by modern geographers, and although not a ley line exactly, with a deeper look into these locations, it reveals that these roots align perfectly with the ancient sacred sites nestled within them. The banana shape in sacred geometry represents a bridge between 2 points, acting as a conductor for energy. It's the arc of flow, the conduit. Unlike a circle which contains continuous energy or a straight line which pierces, an arc directs the flow. The blue banana and golden banana are directional powers and not just clusters. They are perceived as energetic slipstreams that pull wealth and people along a specific curve. The crescent is also the primary symbol of the moon and the feminine principle, and just as the moon governs the tides, these economic crescents govern the flow of global capital. In alchemy, the crescent, which is the moon, represents the ability to receive and multiply light, similar to how the financial hubs receive and multiply money through credit and interest, or make up money from nowhere. The curved shape of these regions mirrors the cornucopia or the horn of plenty, which in sacred symbolism is the ultimate ancient symbol of limitless abundance and wealth. This shape is a vessel that is narrow at one end and wide at the other, designed to catch and overflow with abundance. With the golden banana example, the curve terminates in areas of extreme density and wealth, mimicking the way a horn focuses energy towards a specific output. In Greek mythology, it represents Plutus, the god of wealth. It is the visual reset button for poverty, implying that the source of riches is natural, divine and inexhaustible. But capturing this limitless divine wealth required more than just geographic alignment. It required a system to lock that cosmic energy into money. To achieve this, the elite turned to a man who lived at the exact intersection of ancient magic and modern finance. You see, at the highest levels, the architects of the global economy aren't just bankers, they are modern high priests operating completely beyond political systems. They are practitioners of a financial alchemy, using the global movement of wealth as an occult tool to steer societies. Many know Sir Isaac Newton for the discovery of gravity, where he took an invisible occult force and turned it into a mathematical law. He saw it as a cold mechanical pull. It was the active principle, the literal breath of God moving through the geometric grid of the universe. Newton became the warden and later master of the Royal Mint in London, UK, and in 1717 decided the gold standard that then changed the world's economy forever. Newton was far more than just a physicist. He was the ultimate bridge between the ancient world of magic and the modern world of science. The banking elite continue to operate through these ancient traditions, utilizing the science of ley lines and sacred geometry to consolidate power, preserve generational wealth, and steer the development of society according to their own vision. London, Paris and Frankfurt are the three nodes, and in occult finance are called the financial sun of Europe. This geographic triangle formed by London, Paris and Frankfurt is the undisputed heart of Europe and makes a scalene triangle. Linked by a dense network of high-speed rail and global flight paths, it represents one of the most heavily traversed business corridors on Earth. This is the triangle to the master circuit of the Western world. If one of these nodes or financial centres were to fail, the spiral of accumulation of economies would collapse. This is why these three cities remain hyper-connected regardless of politics, because the ley lines and flow of money is essential for the world economies. In esoteric circles, gold is connected to the sun, and London, Paris and Frankfurt are seen as the solar plexus of the global economic body. Just as the sun provides the light and energy required for physical life, these three cities provide the liquidity required for modern economic life. By placing central banks in Frankfurt, stock exchanges in London and corporate headquarters in Paris in a Pacific triangular alignment, the elite then can amplify the flow of wealth. Much like a resonator amplifies a sound wave, it becomes a frequency and is a resonator of money. The financial sun is a way of describing a monopoly on light. If you control the central nodes of the triangle, you control the sunlight that allows every business in Europe to grow or to collapse. This is why city skyscrapers capture the light, and because alchemically the more light allows more control of the flow. Another important scalene triangle is between London, Frankfurt and Geneva, which also act as powerful leverage of wealth, the base being Frankfurt to Geneva, which is the shortest side, and the arms reaching out to London are significantly longer. Time zones are often more important for global finance than physical distance, but London sits in a Goldilocks zone where it can trade with Asian markets in the morning and US markets in the afternoon. London, Paris, New York is another scalene triangle, and it would be the same with the financial centres in the United States, Canada, Australia and all over the world. This sacred geometry is used. The London-Paris-Frankfurt scalene triangle operates as a massive economic pump, that converts geographic intent into global power. Its lack of symmetry creates a constant pressure, forcing capital to circulate between London's global engine, Frankfurt's regulatory valve, and Paris' political heart. This geometric net captures the wealth of the blue banana, using high-speed rail and fibre optics to mimic the ancient Horn of Plenty. Esoterically, the triangle acts as a planetary antenna by anchoring elite activity over low-frequency telluric currents. These cities broadcast a specific vibration of abundance, ensuring that wealth remains trapped in a perpetual self-sustaining loop. While perfect shapes like the equilateral triangle represent static divine balance, the Scalene triangle embodies the dynamic flow of the physical universe. Because its sides are unequal, it symbolizes the unbalanced nature of earthly existence, compared to the perfect celestial realms. This asymmetry is the key to movement. It holds the power of the triad, beginning, middle, and end, but expresses it through diversity rather than uniformity. Through the scaling model, a spiral can be created, a geometric flow that dictates the direction and outcome of energy. This is best seen in the golden scalene or the Kepler triangle, which mathematically connects the square, the circle, and the spiral. By moving away from static symmetry, the Scalene triangle allows for the golden ratio to manifest, manifesting the same spiraling growth found in the cornucopia and the cosmos. The Scalene triangle often appears in ley lines or the alignments of ancient sites all over the world. But in London you have St Paul's Cathedral, Westminster Abbey, and the Tower of London. If you map these three power centres, they form a Scalene triangle, representing the tension and flow between commerce within the city, state religion at Westminster, and defence within the Tower of London. All these nodes are nexus points for other ley lines in London, such as the Coronation ley line or the St Paul's ley line, where these earth energies are traversing. As much as it's powerful between these points, the convergence of other ley lines is firing this power into other sections of London and the United Kingdom, and even worldwide. Although this is a more modern created Scalene triangle, you have the Slough, Basildon, Docklands triangle, which functions as the physical nervous system of the London financial markets, and they were built here by no accident. This is a modern geometric circuit engineered for absolute dominance. While the public focus remains on the bankers and we're distracted by the glass towers of the city and Canary Wharf, the true engines of global commerce are housed within these hidden nodes. This configuration ensures fairness through a strict application of physical symmetry and speed of light, creating a digital temple where time and space are manipulated. Equinix in Slough is described as the digital cathedral of the foreign exchange. Within its walls, trillions of dollars in currency are traded daily. It is the high altar of liquidity, where the value of global money is created in real time. It's the source of legitimacy. Just as the kings were crowned at Westminster, the value of the pound is consecrated in Slough. Another node is the LSEG in Docklands, London, serving as the apex node. The London Stock Exchange Group's data centre sits at the balance centre. It synchronises the flow between the Western money hub and the Eastern energy hub, maintaining the balance of the entire system. Throughout this grid you have microwave towers, like the BT Tower or the Shard, that act as the needles connecting these layers. The Slough-Basildon and Docklands triangle is not just a modern technical necessity created by the financial elite. It is the silicon rebirth of London's ancient east-west trade access. While the triangle uses fibre optics today, it sits directly on top of the routes that have funneled the world's wealth into London for the last 2 millennia. In medieval times, this route was the primary highway for moving English wool, which was the white gold of the Middle Ages, from the Cotswolds into the London markets. The financial elite didn't choose these locations by accident. They have essentially paved over the ancient sacred sites and ley lines of trade with high-speed glass. The same energy that drove medieval wool and salt markets now drives the nanosecond algorithms of the global financial markets. In some secret societies and esoteric circles, the Scalene triangle is used to create spirals. Because the sides are unequal, rotating or nesting these triangles creates a sense of movement and evolution rather than a fixed point. The Scalene triangle is the engine behind the spiral of growth, unlike the equilateral triangle, which is static and closed. The Scalene triangle is inherently unbalanced, creating the tension necessary for movement. The laws of geometry are not just for building physical structures, but are the same laws that govern the universe. And there is an intelligent design behind all creation. So this sacred geometry, ley lines, can be used for good, bad, control, order, dominance, happiness, abundance, whatever the desire or intention you put into that grid. If you remain skeptical of ley lines' earth energies or the elite's use of sacred geometry, look at the London's protected eye triangle. This triangular corridor formed by St Paul's Cathedral, King Henry's Mound in Richmond Park and Parliament Hill in Hampstead Heath is more than just a protected view. They are protecting the Earth's energies, taken with extreme seriousness by those in power. Another triangle in London is the Hawksmoor triangle. This is deeply rooted in London's ley lines. This consists of 3 brooding churches designed by Nicholas Hawksmoor, a former assistant to Sir Christopher Wren. The triangle is anchored by St Anne's Limehouse, St George in the east, and Christ Church in Spitalfields. In esoteric tradition, this geometric formation is believed to act as a trap or anchor for the chaotic. Heavy energies of the East End serving to balance the immense wealth and order of the City of London to the west. There's the central business triangle with the City for finance, Westminster for state and law, and the West End for commerce and media. This triangle represents the cycle of influence. Westminster makes the laws, the City manages the money, and the West End projects the culture. A larger triangle called the Black Magic Triangle that runs from Europe to the USA, going between Turin, London to San Francisco. In the occult is said to be focused on material power and world influence. London serves as the anchor for European finance and law within the corner of the global Black Magic Triangle. Beyond the financial grids, Europe is anchored by the White Magic Triangle, a sacred formation spanning from Lyon, Prague and Turin. Unlike the London-Frankfurt axis, which focuses on the circulation of material wealth, this triangle is dedicated to spiritual evolution and the refinement of human consciousness. Each city acts as a unique energetic node. Lyon serves as the heart of healing and mystic tradition. Prague represents the alchemical transformation of the mind, and Turin functions as the gateway between polarities. Together they create a balanced geometric circuit designed to foster positive development and higher wisdom across the continent. These earth energies and ley lines are subtle currents that crisscross all over our planet. forming a global grid that is accessible to everyone. By understanding the function of these energy nodes, we can learn to project our own intentions into this vast network, tapping into a field of potential that surrounds us all the time. This profound knowledge was once an integral part of human civilization, openly taught and utilized for millennia. However, for reasons that are only now beginning to resurface, this wisdom was systematically removed from public consciousness, leaving us to rediscover our true connection to the Earth's vibrational grid. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can also join the members section where we have lots of exclusive content. See you in the next video.